Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. And for this particular video, ladies and gentlemen, kindly let me know in the comment section the specific county you are watching us from. Ladies and gentlemen, over the weekend, Uhuru Kenyatta attended Episcopal ordination of some 2 bishops in Nairobi. And in his speech, Uhuru Kenyatta made reference to traitors.
Sioni shida ya usaliti mwingi sana huku. Hawa ni watu ukiwaongelesha vizuri, mtapelekana na hawa vizuri sana na watawasaidia kwa kazi zenu. Usaliti huko upande mwingine sitaki sijui. Usaliti ni mwingi sana. Lakini kwa wasaliti tunawaambia hata Judas alisaliti Yesu, lakini hiyo mahela aliiwacha akaenda akatafuta kamba. It is servant leadership, not leadership to be served.
And on this channel, I named the traitors Johnson Sakaja, because there is no way Johnson Sakaja can write his political journey without sparing acres of spaces for Uhuru Kenyatta. I also mentioned Monica Juma. Monica Juma was one of Uhuru Kenyatta's trusted allies. In fact, Uhuru Kenyatta appointed Monica Juma as the cabinet secretary for foreign affairs, which means Monica Juma was actually sitting right at the National Security Council. And most of you guys were wondering how Dennis Itumbi used to get information about Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta's meeting. The truth of the matter is that Monica Juma was right inside those meetings. And after the meetings, he would relay the information to William Ruto, and that's how, according to sources, Dennis Itumbi used to reveal those deep, highly sensitive information. And of course, you know the history of Chief Justice Martha Koome. And I'm told there are also others. Uhuru Kenyatta is yet to receive phone call from the former NIS director, Kamweru. The only person Uhuru Kenyatta believed really worked hard was none other than George Kinoti. And that's why William Ruto fired George Kinoti immediately. And then after Uhuru Kenyatta made that statement, Kenya Kwanza leaders led by Kimani Ichung'wah, the husband to Monica Juma, Professor Kagwanja, went overdrive in vernacular stations, especially in the Kikuyu nation, trying to explain how the reference of traitor was not directed to them, but was directed to Raila Odinga. And that has forced one of Uhuru Kenyatta's close allies, David Murathe, to come out and clear the air. Let me just read for you what the Daily Nation is reporting, because they spoke with David Murathe. Jubilee Party Vice Chairman David Murathe has clarified that former President Uhuru Kenyatta's traitor jibe targeted his ex-allies who abandoned him to work with his political friend turned rival President William Ruto. Murathe said Mr. Kenyatta was targeting people he helped build their political careers only for them to betray him in his hour of need. Speaking to Daily Nation, Murathe clarified that Kenyatta was referring to politicians present at Saturday's event who have since defected and are now working with the President Ruto. And that is the truth. Uhuru Kenyatta was even very clear during that service that the traitors were Kupandiri, where the politicians were actually seated. And why do you think the likes of Kimani Ichung'wah and Professor Kagwanja actually went to the TV and radio stations to try and explain what Uhuru Kenyatta explained clearly? That's exactly what I want us to analyze in this video. But before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in.
As far as we are concerned, Raila Odinga, at almost 50-50 with Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember in 2013, we scraped through the 50+1 with like 80,000 votes. All right? Meaning, and Raila never got Mount Kenya votes. Meaning this time around, worst case scenario, Raila gets Mount Kenya votes, whether 10, 20, 30, 40%. That is votes he never had anyway. But the rest of his vote basket is intact.
Why do you think the likes of Kagwanja, the likes of Kimani Ichung'wah were keen to try and divert the attention by claiming that Uhuru Kenyatta's reference of traitors was directed at Raila Odinga? Of course, they are saying that Uhuru Kenyatta supported Raila Odinga. Then now Raila Odinga is going to AU, but Uhuru Kenyatta doesn't want. Do you think Uhuru Kenyatta would be that mean not to want Raila Odinga to go to AU? I don't think so. If anything, Uhuru Kenyatta would be praying for Raila Odinga to get AU so that his project, probably Kalonzo Musyoka, can be facilitated. But why do you think these guys were now trying to shift the theory or the story? Number one is the shame, the guilt. Let us face it. Uhuru Kenyatta, there is no way Uhuru Kenyatta would have lost the presidency to William Ruto. At some point, I was talking to a very senior member of Azimio during the campaigns, very senior, one of the top guys there. And I would relay to him some of the issues and the concerns which most of you on this platform used to give me. And the guy was like, Lee, I don't think those guys are right. We were from a meeting. And what you are saying was raised in the meeting. And in that meeting, there was Kamweru, there was Matiang'i, there was Kinoti. And everything they claimed were taken care of. So which means these guys worked closely with Ruto. In fact, it is being alleged that the intelligence guy, Kamweru, used to give Uhuru Kenyatta wrong intelligence strategically. He used to give Uhuru Kenyatta wrong intelligence. So Uhuru Kenyatta's actions, which was Azimio actions, were actually based on false intelligence. So these guys are now feeling the shame. Why? Because the Ruto they voted for is not delivering the way they expected. Uhuru Kenyatta is still there. Most of them expected to be appointed. They are yet to be appointed, apart from Monica Juma, who is currently telling me how William Ruto would have appointed Monica Juma to be advisor on security. When someone like Kinoti was kicked out, there was no way. Which means there was something between Ruto and Monica Juma. You can't tell me that Monica Juma is so special that he worked very closely with Uhuru Kenyatta, or allies of Uhuru Kenyatta were kicked out, but for her, she was elevated. No way. No way. Number two, they're also keen on projecting Uhuru Kenyatta as a betrayer. And why are they projecting this? Because they supported Ruto. And their narrative has always been that Uhuru Kenyatta ought to have supported Ruto, but Uhuru Kenyatta refused to support Ruto. And now Uhuru Kenyatta, instead of supporting Raila Odinga's bid of becoming the chair of the AU, he feels that Raila Odinga is betraying him. So basically that is also something which is coming out from these guys. And number three, they're keen on diverting the attention from the real issue and then create a Raila phobia narrative. Remember, Kenya Kwanza is facing serious dilemma in the mountain because of two main reasons. Number one, there is no Uhuru Kenyatta to be blamed, because during the campaign, they used to blame Uhuru Kenyatta for every other thing affecting the mountain. Again, Raila Odinga is no longer in the picture. And now Uhuru Kenyatta made this reference, so they want to try and use it that, okay, Raila has betrayed Uhuru. And that's the narrative they went with on TV. That, you know, Uhuru Kenyatta has been betrayed by Raila Odinga. So Raila Odinga is a traitor. So they just want to try and revive that stale narrative. And that's why David Murathe, one of close allies of Uhuru Kenyatta, had to come out and remind them that Uhuru Kenyatta was not making reference to Raila Amolo Odinga. Number 4, they're also keen on trying to create a wedge between Raila Odinga supporters and Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember, today, if you were to pick 10 supporters of Raila Odinga and you ask them whether Uhuru Kenyatta betrayed Raila Odinga or not, whether it was long con, they will tell you 60% of them will tell you that they don't trust Uhuru, that there was no way Uhuru Kenyatta would have lost the presidency to William Ruto, who was an outsider. That Uhuru literally just played games on Raila. So that's something they're trying, so that Raila Odinga supporters would feel, okay, this guy is now referring to Raila as a traitor because Raila is going for AU while he refused to help Raila Odinga here. No way. So they want to create that narrative. And lastly, it's about the impact of Uhuru Kenyatta as far as Mount Kenya politics is concerned. If you are keen, when Uhuru Kenyatta entered that church, the reception was electric. In fact, that is what is worrying these guys the most. The reception was electric. Then apart from reception being electric, when Uhuru Kenyatta was speaking, people were like really wanted to listen to him. And when that pastor was mentioning Uhuru, Ruto, Gachagua, when the word Uhuru was mentioned, the church went wild. So they are shocked that this guy, as much as we thought we finished with him, is still here. And that's why Uhuru Kenyatta, in his statement, was very clear about servant leadership and not leadership to be served. I don't know what to think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.